Hey guys, time for another video. Just got back from Florida a little while ago, and I've been waiting for this to come in. I have been playing with this in studio. I got to fish it in Florida, so now I can really give you guys a walkthrough about both the spec and the tech about the new Bantam, but more so my experience with it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the new Bantam, which the last Bantam was definitely one of my favorite reels. So what was so special about the previous generation of Bantam? Now, Bantam is a heritage name for Shimano. The first low-profile bait casting reels Shimano made for the freshwater world were Bantams. Those all-aluminum Bantam reels, which we know really developed bait casting reels in the low-profile world moving forward. But when they reintroduced Bantam the last time around, and I believe it was three or 4 years ago, they did something unique. In order to play on the heritage of the name, they came out with something they've never done before, and that was a core solid body. Core solid body meaning that the side plate, palming side plate, and frame were one piece. No welds, no joints, no screws, nothing. So if I were to take off the side palming plate, the SVS plate, very simply, you're going to notice when I open this, that is one solid piece aluminum frame. So that Hagane all-metal body now did not include any joints when it came to that. And what did it do for us as anglers? Well, I think the big thing for anglers was the fact that it was really offering us sensitivity. Sensitivity and power and torque. And what happens is when you have your palming side, the hand on the palming side of the plate, because there was no joints, everything that was coming through your line, through the rod, to the reel seat, to the reel, was transmitting directly to your hand. So they made for really good cranking reels, really good baits that you would fish that you needed to feel. So I did a lot of flipping and pitching with this reel. So torque monster, but also finesse. That was the big thing about Bantam. So how did they make it better? So top features we're going to talk about that are still there. Obviously the core solid body, that Hagane all-metal body. 8+1 SARB shielded anti-rust bearings, cross carbon drag, a number of things that they kept. The big thing for me, Mgl3 Spool is now on this Bantam and Infinity Drive. So let's talk about those two features because really they're the two biggest upgrades that Bantam has received. Mgl3 Spool is the latest generation of Magnum Light spool that Shimano has created basically, and you've been seeing MGL spools become more and more pervasive through the low-profile bait casting market. So what is an MGL spool? MGL spool is a Magnum Light design. So what it is, it's the combination of taking weight out of a spool but maintaining structural integrity that makes this so special. So this is a very, very light startup inertia spool. So it will handle light baits incredibly well. But it also makes casting bigger baits better. So you've got more control, but you can also finesse. It's the best of both worlds, and Mgl3 Spool is Shimano's latest version. Now, Infinity Drive is a completely different animal altogether. Previous generation had X-Ship, which was a double bearing supported pinion gear, and what they've done here is they've actually continued double greased bearings on either side, but they've moved it so that the pinion gear is actually attached directly to the spool shaft. And what this is doing and what Infinity Drive is meant to do is decrease torque under load. So it makes reeling easier, even when you're fighting big fish, even when you're cranking big baits like swim baits or big deep diving crankbaits. That's the real purpose of Infinity Drive, is it's made it more efficient. So the winding torque, it's smoother, it's lighter, it feels lighter, and it does that even under load. So that's the big thing about Infinity Drive. So, new generation Bantam, Infinity Drive, Mgl3 Spool, the two major upgrades, still has the same great SVS Infinity braking. And I showed you that earlier when I opened this up, but you basically pop that off. 6-pin SVS Infinity braking, adjustable from the outside, which is awesome. And then other features about this reel. Silent tune is also done like the previous generation. You got silent tune in this, and so they made the reel really nice and quiet, so there's no sloppiness feeling in that reel. So you're going to notice that right away. And then micro module gearing as well in this reel. So that's a lot to talk about when it comes to the new Bantam. But what about the specs? How is this going to layout for me. Are you looking for a low speed reel? Are you looking for a medium speed reel? Are you looking for a high speed reel? So Bantam is available in a 6.2-to-1 that brings in 27 inches of line per handle turn. It's also available in a 7.1-to-1 that brings in 31 inches of line per handle turn. And it's available in an 8.1-to-1 that brings in 35 inches of line per handle turn. All you lefties out there, you are not abandoned. The Bantam is available both left and right-handed in all 3 gear ratios. Now the weight of the reel is the last part, and really there's 3 different weights based on their gear ratio. The low gear, the 6.2-to-1, weighs in at 7.6 ounces. The 7.1-to-1 weighs in at 7.8 ounces, and the 8.1-to-1 weighs in at 7.9 ounces. If your hand is tuned in enough to feel the difference between 0.3 ounces, you're a much better human than I am, because I haven't noticed it. I've picked up all 3 of these reels, I've fished all 3 of these reels, and I haven't really noticed it. So overall, I'd say the new Bantam is doing exactly what people would expect of the original generation. The biggest fear sometimes is when they change something that it might step backwards, but this is definitely a step forward for Bantam fans. Whether you are looking to throw swim baits, crankbaits, big, heavy 1-ounce spinner baits, or you want to throw lighter stuff like a 3/8 ounce topwater or a 1/4 ounce flat side, this reel is pretty much going to be at home no matter where you're going to put it. So if you haven't checked one out yet, these are shipping now, and we are in just about March. You're going to want to check this out. The new Bantam from Shimano. MSRP is going to be $349.99, and they should be hitting stores this spring. So guys, check them out. This is one, if you had the original generation, you're going to definitely want to get your mitts on the new one. There you have it, guys. There's a quick walkthrough of the new Bantam. If you could do me a favor, 90% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. Just click the subscribe button. Appreciate a like, obviously, on the video, but click the subscribe button and select the notifications. So every time we do a new product walkthrough, you're going to get it in your feed. And I hope everybody's obviously doing well. Things seem to be opening up. Spring is in the air. Fishing is around the corner, and I know the Florida guys have been pounding them pretty good. Texas boys are catching them big on fork right now. So there you have it. Gear review. Check it out. Hope to see you guys on the next one.